off. I got the AC, my phone hooked onto the vent. YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching the video. I need to shave. JP, what's going on? Ain't nothing, man. Same old stuff, man. Trying to do something with this truck. Sheldon, what's going on? My bad, y'all. I haven't been making videos lately. I've just been busy, man, trying to make this truck work. DD15 truck. What's going on? This video, I don't really have much to talk about. I was just checking in, just checking in with y'all because I know I haven't been making videos, so just checking in with y'all. Excuse me, y'all. I'm eating this orange. It is what it is. Right now, I'm in Miami, Florida right now. And that's pretty much all I've been doing for the last month. Just running loads to running loads back and forth to Miami, Florida. Living in the Southeast, that's about all you can do right now to to make consistent money. So, for the last couple of weeks, I've been doing $5,000 a week, just running from Atlanta to Miami, book a load from Miami back to Atlanta, back down, and that'll give me my 5,000. And if you own your own truck or trailer, that's what you need to be making, $5,000 a week. Especially with these rates being so low, you gotta make $5,000 a week. You just sent me an email. Oh yeah, I recognize you. What's going on, man? You got your trailer together? Yeah, I've been talking to you for a while. You got your trailer together? You got your authority together? You got your truck? You got the truck. Okay, what about the trailer? Let me go on my email. 404trucker@gmail.com. Oh man, I got a lot of emails in here. My bad, y'all. My emails are backed up. My emails are backed up. Utility trailers. I mean, you can get a trailer anywhere. You can get a trailer just about anywhere. I mean, you don't want to pile on too much debt. You don't want to pile on too much debt right now. I mean, I say at most have a truck payment of $1,000 a month, and have a paid for trailer, or have your truck paid off and have a brand new trailer. Right now, the rates are just not strong enough. The rate's just not strong enough for you to come out here with a truck and trailer payment like $3,000 a month. These rates out here just not strong enough for that. I say if you out here looking for a truck, I mean, you can make it out here with these rates, but you got to watch your expenses. You're gonna need you need to get a fuel card with a discount on it. Save a little bit of money, save a little bit of time, and and it helps to expedite your cash flow having a fuel card. Um, this is my fuel card right here. This is my fuel card. It's my Comdata card. Thus far, the Comdata card that I have is the best fuel card that I've had so far. I done tried out a whole bunch of fuel cards, but this Comdata one is the best. If you're gonna come out here and get your own truck and trailer, do not use the factoring company fuel card. Do not use their fuel card. Because what's gonna happen is, in order to use the fuel card from your factoring company, you have to always be factoring loads, and you're going to have a company in control of your money and your fuel, and they're going to have that's just too much control. And as a business owner, the whole point of being in business is to have control. You can't have nobody on your back jerking you around with your fuel, because you need to put fuel in the truck and go. You're eventually going to get paid because you're going to be factoring your bills, or you can just do direct pay with the broker. But you need an independent fuel source that you control your fuel purchase. You don't buy your fuel through the factoring company. I know all these factoring companies out here got fuel cards. I got a fuel card with my factoring company. All these factoring companies out here got fuel cards, but the problem is, like I just said, you buying fuel and you factoring your bills through the same company. That ain't gonna work. And so that's just my suggestion. I know some guys out here buy fuel with a credit card. They pay cash for fuel. That's not a good idea. $2,500 credit line is nice for one truck. It's all right. If that 2,500 credit line is a net 7, which is a week. If that's a net 7 account, yeah, you never gonna use $2,500 in fuel in a week unless you running a reefer. And even if you running a reefer, you might spend $200-300 in a week on reefer fuel, and then you might spend, if you run real hard, you might spend about $1,000 in fuel in a week. So $2,500, if that's a net 7 account. If that's a net 30 account, that ain't enough fuel in a month. You need like a $10,000 credit line if that's a net 30. But most fuel cards are net 7, either net 7 or net 14. Most of the fuel cards are going to be either net 7 or net 30, but it's a couple of them out there that are net 14. Where on a net 7, the payment is due every 7 days, which is fine, because when you're running loads, most brokers and a factoring company, you're going to be getting paid every 2-3 days anyway, and that'll give you enough time to get through the week, get your money, and pay your fuel bill. So, 2,100, 3,600 miles. $2,500 credit line. Would you recommend going through a factoring company or for insurance? It really don't matter. When it comes to insurance, the thing is, ex New Birth, I know your real, I ain't gonna put your real name out here. I got your email right here. But the thing is, man, when you a new trucking business, you really don't have many options. Your only option is OIDA and like, I'm trying to think. It's only a few insurance companies that's going to give you a reasonable rate as a new carrier. It's a whole bunch of insurance companies that going to give you a policy. They'll give you a policy, but the policy going to be 20, 30,000. You know, but if you want a reasonable rate and you can go out here and do business, you might get turned down once or twice. But if you're pulling freight with the big 5 brokers, you're going to be fine, man. You're going to be just fine. C.H. Robinson, take OIDA Insurance, Scott Logistics, Coyote, Uber Freight, Convoy, C.H. Robinson, all the big 5, the big 6, TQL, they all take OIDA. They don't have no problem with you pulling a freight. You can pull freight. Between them 5, 6 brokers, that's plenty of doggone freight out here. Every blue moon, you get caught in the area where you're going to have to get set up with a broker outside of the big 5. But once you start running the lane, right, you're going to get a feel for the brokers in a certain area, because there's certain brokers that work certain areas, especially the small regional brokers. Like, for example, Scott Logistics, the Kings of Freight. I'm trying to just think of some brokers off the top of my head. The King of Freight. You got there's certain brokers that they only run like regional areas, the Southeast. Okay, and once you get a feel for these brokers, like, you're gonna see these brokers popping up on the board all the time. And so you call these brokers up and ask them, hey, I got OIDA Insurance, and do y'all take the insurance? They're either gonna say yes or no. And so Progressive is the only one that covers all freight with no experience requirements. Yes, they do. However, they high, they expensive. You're gonna be looking at Progressive Insurance. They've come down on their policies, their policies, but for a new DOT number, you're gonna be looking at 20, 30 grand out the gate. I mean, you're gonna be looking at a good 20 grand out the gate. You're gonna be looking at straight up 20 grand out the gate. And when you call them up, I've talked to some guys, they put all this stuff on their insurance. There's a lot of stuff you really don't need. You don't need a general liability policy. Plus, all you need is trucking, auto liability, and cargo, and physical damage. That's all you need. You don't need all that other stuff. You don't need breakdown. You don't need all that other stuff. It's just going to make your policy more expensive. Put that money in the bank and put it towards tires. Put it towards your motor breaking down, maintaining your truck. Don't waste that money on that stuff. Every blue moon, you're going to have a broker going to ask you for a general liability policy on top of your your primary auto liability on your truck. So if you just one truck, one trailer, you don't need all that stuff. You know, just get the bare minimum requirements what the DOT requires. The DOT requires 1 million of primary liability, and they only require 100,000 in cargo. If you want to get physical damage, if you got an old raggedy truck, you really don't need physical damage. You know, you can get physical damage, but tell them your truck worth by 15,000. So in the event of an accident, you get you get a check to go get a new truck. Tell them your trailer worth about 5,000, 10,000. So in the event of a loss, you get a little check so you can go get you some new equipment if you get in a wreck. But don't tell them your equipment worth 100,000, and then you got to get $100,000 physical damage policy, and then that's gonna make your rate go up. So, so, unsung hero YouTube. Yeah. So I mean, you know, you can call Progressive up and get a quote, but I mean, I'm just gonna tell you. It's gonna be high. So the thing is, you just gotta shop around. Call up Progressive and get a quote and see what they say. Call up OOIDA and get a quote and see what they say. If your OOIDA quote and your Progressive quote are like neck and neck, then I would go and get Progressive. But as a new venture, you really don't have that many options when it comes to insurance. You really don't. Once you get a year or two of business under your belt, then you can go out here and get insurance. So, and not have to worry about it. So, and then if you want to grow a fleet, then you can do that because there are insurance companies out there that allow you to do that. So, like the insurance company I'm with, they allow me to grow up to 4 trucks, and they're not as strict on the hiring requirements. So, if you deal with high insurance right now, by the time you do the numbers at the end of the month, you're not gonna do much better than leased on. Yeah, I agree, but you gotta understand, silence and seriously. All this is preparation, because like a lot of you guys, like I've been saying in all my videos, like you guys, you got to put your time in. You got to put your time in. Okay. And like I'm just not getting to a point with my authority to where I can feel like I can start hiring guys. You know, my authority has got some good seasoning on it. My DOT rating is pretty good. I mean, I don't get caught in the scales too much. I mean, all this stuff, you gotta build, you gotta work at it. And like you guys think you're gonna get your authority and think you're gonna be doing great out the gate. Nah, man, this is a 10, 20 year thing. And the thing is, I be telling guys, you ain't gonna never start until you start. You're gonna be 10 years in the trucking business and never get your authority. You need to get your authority. The sooner you do it, that way you get all that you get all that stuff out of the way. You get 5 years in business under your authority, nobody can take that away from you. And like guys be talking about, well, it's better to lease on. But after 10 years of being leased on, where you gonna be? You always gonna be leased on. You ain't gonna own nothing. You ain't gonna have no business credit. You ain't gonna have no clout in the business. Nobody ain't gonna know who you are. You just leased on to somebody. And so, this is a long-term outlook. This is a long-term prep for a bigger opportunity, not just, okay, well, if you crunch the numbers, you'll make more money being leased on. Yeah, probably your first year it's gonna be tough. But in year 2, year 3, and year 4, I bet any guy who got the authority in year 4, year 5 would shit all over any lease guy out here. Any lease guy out here. Like I'm sitting here, like I got my own truck and trailer, I got my own authority. I do what I want to do, man. And it's like a lot of you guys who leased on, y'all don't even understand the beauty in that. You don't even get it. Like, and it's only gonna get better from there. It's only gonna get better. It's like you get the opportunity to get direct shippers, you know, and man, like you get to hire guys. and like, I mean, you know, but if that ain't what you want, fine. But it's bigger than making money. Okay, it's, you know, your first year or two, you ain't gonna make no money. Especially right now, your first year or two, you probably would make more money being leased on your first year with your own authority. You probably make more money being leased on compared to a guy in their first year with their authority. But you ain't gonna never get to year 2, year 3, and year 4 until you start. I'm glad I went and got my authority, man. I'm glad. I'm real glad. Shoot. And see, it's different when you get to compete on a Snyder level, on a JB Hunt level, right? You competing with these guys directly. I don't work for these guys. I'm competing with them directly. Of course, they whooping my ass because they got their resources are bigger. JB Hunt's resources are way bigger than mine. Snyder's resources are way bigger than mine. But you know, so I mean, you know, that's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Personally plan on doing power only. I got a buddy plans on pulling the flat. Yeah. I mean, the thing is like a lot of guys I talk to, they don't have a boss mindset. A lot of these guys, all they want to do is drive a truck. They're never, like, you got guys, all they want to do is just drive a fucking truck. They don't want to get up to a business level and grow a business, right? You got guys, they don't see themselves wearing a shirt and tie, sitting at the round table. You get what I'm saying? And like, you got guys that's gonna be a truck driver, and that's all they're gonna be, and that's all they want to strive for is complain about the rates, talk about booking loads, and you when you get your own authority, you want to move above that. You want to think business, grow business, okay, and you want to look past that. It comes to a point where you don't care about your truck no more. You don't care about these damn trucks and trailers. They're just tools. They're just tools. And like, you got guys out here that are so proud of their truck. Everywhere I go, like, I bump into guys. They talking about how big their motor is and what kind of truck they got. I'm like, man, I'm past that. Like, I'm thinking about a fleet. Like, I don't care what kind of truck. I don't care about that. Like, I don't care about that. Like, it's just a different mindset. You know, you got guys that just want to drive a truck, and that's just all they want to do. And so when I tell guys to get the authority, that's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. I'm trying to explain to y'all, getting your authority, the spirit in that, you know, just trying to explain there's a bigger calling than just holding the steering wheel and then trying to bitch and moan over these rates. Because once you get to a certain level, executive level, rates is whatever. You're not worrying about that, you know. So I'll be trying to tell y'all, it don't matter, flatbed or reefer, it don't matter. It's just money in the bank. You really think the guy who work in the office give a shit about what kind of truck you drive, what kind of trailer you got, what kind of motor in your truck? If it's flatbed, reefer, or dry van, they don't care. That when you get to a certain level, there are things that's like beneath you, okay? That you had a higher level, you had a business boss level, okay? And like, that's what I'll be trying to explain to y'all. Like, y'all need to get off these rates and chasing these lows. Like, that's real small thinking. And like, you got some guys, all they want to do is just drive a truck, and that's just what it is. And that's fine. But I need you guys to understand, when you come on my channel, when I tell guys about getting the authority, there's a different outlook I'm trying to speak to. I'm talking to a different level of people. I'm not talking about get your authority so you can just run one truck for 30 years. That's not a game plan for business. That's not a game plan to grow a business. That's not a game plan. Okay? That's not for example, you know the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, he's the founder of Home Depot. You really think the founder of Home Depot really cares about all the little day-to-day bullshit that goes down in his stores off the blank? You really think he really cares about all the little day-to-day? No, he's thinking about that high-level boss businessman stuff. He owns a football team. He don't care about all that little foo-foo stuff. And that's why I be trying to get y'all to think past driving a truck. Because the trucking business is a fun business. It's a lucrative business. And like, for all these guys, okay, driving the truck was a stepping stone to get out of poverty, but then you use the truck to move on to big high-level business moves. Okay, use your truck to buy real estate. Use your truck to start other businesses. Build your trucking business. Start a 3, 4, 5, 10 truck fleet. Okay? Start hiring guys. Get your ass out the truck and get in the office and get on a boss administrative level. Okay? Where you go to the round table and you discussing direct shippers and accounts and stuff. Okay? You're not worrying about all that little, where you get your oil changed at and what kind of motor you got. You don't really care about that stuff. What kind of tires on your truck? It's like you don't care about that stuff. Oh, Ida did. Okay, I'm way behind y'all. Oh, Ida didn't have trailer interchange. I didn't want to be limited out the gate. What are you talking about? Oh, Ida does have trailer interchange. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I've had old Ida insurance for 2 years, and Ida is a good insurance company to have when you starting out. So that's just the reality of it is. You're gonna go out there and get Progressive insurance. They're gonna give you a $20,000, $30,000 policy. Your insurance gonna be $1,900 a month. Instead of going to go get Ida, where you get $1,000 a month policy, $800, $900, $1,000 a month policy, $1,100 a month policy, you're gonna pay double going to Progressive for no reason at all. For no reason at all. That doesn't make business sense. When I had OIDA, I can count on one hand that I've got denied on Lowe's when I call a broker and they figure out what kind of insurance I got. I've probably been denied maybe 3-4 times. If that, maybe. Out of like, I probably ran at least 600, 700, 800 loads. I probably run about 300 loads a year. 300 to 350 loads a year. So let's just say 700 to 800 loads in a 2-year period. So as a percentage, when you start to calculate that as a percentage, it's like less than like 0.00001% of your chances of getting denied because of having OIDA insurance. That don't make sense. That doesn't make business sense. On this planet Earth, when things are governed by numbers, decisions are made by numbers. Insurance is no different. And so if you're looking at insurance and you're trying to make a business decision, trying to decide whether you should get insurance or not, you're looking at these different insurance carriers and you're saying, okay, I'm going to pay double the rate per month for insurance because of a 0.00001% chance I might get denied. That don't make sense. That's not business sense. Now, if the chances of you getting denied for having insurance was like 30%, 20%, 15%, that's a big enough number to say, okay, I might want to go ahead and pay a little bit extra money for this insurance. I don't know. The thing about it is, it's the funny thing about it. When you have insurance, you don't want no claim anyway. Insurance is there just in case. Because your first year in business, if you have a claim, you're not going to get insurance anyway. If you got some lost runs, that's what insurance companies call, truck insurance companies call claims that you have on cargo insurance. They call it lost runs. It's a lost runs report. You got to call the insurance company, get your lost runs report. It pretty much tell you all the losses that you had. You don't want to have none. You go to the insurance company and you got a couple of lost runs, you're not going to get a policy. You're not going to get a policy anyway. And I'm talking from experience. I'm not making stuff up. Now you can go back in my videos. I got a lot of videos talking about theory, but I'm just telling you from my hard-earned experience. When you calculate the numbers, I mean, it don't even have to be OIDA. You can get a B-rated insurance carrier. There's B-rated insurance companies out there. There's C-rated insurance carriers out there, and they're a little bit cheaper. Why go for A-rated insurance and you're not using the benefits of an A-rated insurance carrier anyway? The only benefit to having A-rated insurance is because that insurance carrier allows you to grow at a fast rate. Because those insurance companies, the A-rated insurance carriers, they allow you to bring on 5 and 10 drivers all at one time. OIDA insurance won't let you do that. But anyway, let's say you do 700 loads in a 2-year period. That's what I did, somewhere around about. If I go in my paperwork, and I could probably, it's somewhere around in there, about 700 loads in a 2-year period. And so say I got turned down. I'm trying to find out what percentage of, 5. Right. So if I take 5 divided by 7, because I don't even think I've been denied 5 times. I've probably been denied maybe 2 or 3 times. Sir, can you do me a favor? Pull out and
park against the fence over there because I gotta get another company truck in, and I'm gonna finalize your paperwork. Right, everything's out already.
Okay. Yeah, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna finish that thought. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna finish that thought. Oh, God. But but yeah. So like, let me do the math here. I'm gonna do 5 divided by 700. That's 5 divided by 700. Out of 700 loads, I was denied maybe 3 or 4 times. That's a point zero. Let me see. That's a 0.00714% chance, or that's a 0.007% of your loads. That's a very small number, man. That ain't even worth talking about. All right, let me see. That ain't even worth talking about. All right. This place is a trip. That ain't even worth talking about. I mean, a lot of guys, and here's the deal, like I've been saying in my videos, I've been saying this stuff over and over again. Y'all need to stop running y'all truck with emotion. That's all what this is. You done heard some bullshit on the street. You done heard some bullshit on the street, and you don't know no better. You're not using your common sense, and you just make an emotional decision. Oh, I gonna get on out insurance because I'm gonna get turned down by brokers. Well, I'm just gonna tell you, that's a fallacy. That's a fallacy. I don't know if y'all in mathematics, in statistics. In statistics, it's when you're trying to make a proof of something, and then it's not proven with real facts. It's called a fallacy. That is a fallacy because, damn, somebody put this thing over here. Fuck. I have no choice. I have to sit here. Man, don't bring your ass down here. Man, what are you doing, man? People retarded. I ain't going nowhere, so you might as well just go around the block. Shit. Bunch of truck drivers is something else, man. You have to go around the block, man. Ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I was trying to tell him. And so I know I got a lot of air blowing in the vent. How much is costing charging my fuel pump? What? You might have to rephrase that. Long time. Waving 4 fingers and a thumb. Four fingers and a thumb? I don't know what that means. Let me see. 4 fingers. Oh man. I have a fleet and I will have my truck. You know, sometimes, guys be coming on here, be talking junk. So now I'm reading this guy comments. He talking about I have a fleet and I have my truck. Just a while ago, you was just saying you was leased on. If I knew more than 3 people that I know get the job done, it would be more than a 3 truck fleet. 1,000 a month, limited to pulling one kind of trailer. Matt Phillips, I use Great West out of Florida, $89.31 a year. Yeah, Matt Phillips, but you can't come over here putting how much you pay for a policy without giving the details. Like I talked to guys, where they insurance is $600 a month. I talked to guys where their insurance is $1,600 a month. And so, like y'all need to quit this bullshit. Like, y'all need to quit the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. Like, you can't put that kind of information up there trying to showboat, because you're trying to showboat. You're not giving the details. I can already tell you, with an $8,900 a policy, you probably got an old equipment. You got an old truck and trailer. Bottom line, you don't have physical damage. And if you do have physical damage, you probably ain't telling them a lot of money. You telling them like $10,000 for the truck and maybe $5,000 for the trailer for physical damage. And if you just carrying, and then you may not even have physical damage. You may just have primary liability in cargo. And so for $8,900 a month, that's for $8,900 a year, that's about what you're getting. And like, you got to tell the details, and like, you can't come on here and be like, well, I'm with Great Western, you know, which is a popular, which is a big A-rated insurance carrier. I'm with Great Western. My policy $8,900. Yeah, but you probably been in business for about 10 years. Because I called up Great Western. I can't get a policy with Great Western. You need like 4 or 5 years in business to get a policy with Great Western. Okay. Even at 2 years, it's hard for me to find a good policy out here. Even at 2 fucking years. I called up Great Western. They quoted me 20 grand for a goddamn policy. I'm like, nah, I ain't doing it. You know? And so that's the deal, man. Like, you know, when these companies quote you insurance policy, well, I mean, how much is your equipment worth? How much is your truck worth? How much is your trailer worth? What type of freight are you pulling? What areas are you running? What's your driving record? La da 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 da. All that information. You know? How much extra paperwork involved with your authority? Are carrier packets a pain? Yeah, it's more paperwork. It is. Oh, you gotta excuse me, bro, Joe. I drive the little short bus, you know. Right. That's why I was telling Matt Phillips, Trucking Inside, and like, I can tell Trucking Inside. I know Trucking Inside. I watch his channel. I got a lot of information off his channel because he's a seasoned fleet owner. And like, I can tell real business owners. I can tell real fleet owners in this business because they come and talk with sense. And so Trucking Inside said, insurance is based on so much. It's based on where you live, what you hauling, where you running, and so much more. And that's what I said. And like, guys, and like, I talk to guys all over the place. I talk to guys at truck stops. Like, guys be like, man, my insurance $500 a month. Yeah, of course. You running an old 1989 Freightliner, and you running an old 1998 Wabash dry-van trailer raggedy as shit. You still pulling freight with it. It's still, you know, it's still, you still do business with that equipment. But you can't. I got a 2017 trailer. I got a 2017 utility dry van. My insurance on just the dry van alone is gonna be more. Okay. And then my truck, I got a 2014 Freightliner. And so when I tell them on physical damage, and the policy, they looking at all this information, like, yeah, my policy gonna be more than yours. If you got an old Freightliner and an old dry-van trailer, or old reefer trailer, or old flatbed trailer, or if you got a dedicated lane and you pulling the same freight back and forth, well, when insurance company pull your IFTA report, because the insurance company, they want to see your IFTA, your last 4 quarters of your IFTA reports, and they want to see where you've been running to get an idea of what kind of freight you've been doing and what state you've been running in. so they can quote you on a price. And so so if you run from Georgia to Florida and you got this lane and you got old equipment running paper bales running back and forth, of course your insurance is gonna be cheap. I mean, like in Matt Phillips say 2009 truck, 2020 trailer. Okay. So how much are you telling insurance? How much are you telling insurance how much your equipment is worth? How much are you telling them your equipment is worth? Because that 2020 trailer, you're going to have to tell them that trailer is worth $30,000. So when they ask you how much, what's your value on your trailer, you're going to tell them $30,000. 2020 trailer is $30,000 if it's a drive-in. A reefer 2020 reefer trailer is about $50,000-$60,000, brand new. That's a $50,000-$60,000 trailer. Reefer, a brand new drive-in is gonna run you $30,000. So trying to figure out what's going on. So when you tell them your 2009, what you got, 2009? I don't know, 2009 Peterbilt, 2009 Freightliner, I don't know. Say your 2009 Freightliner, they say it's worth $15,000. Say it's worth about $15,000-$20,000. And then your 2020 drive-in, 30 plus the 15, you got 40. You got $35,000 worth of equipment. This is for physical damage. Okay, what kind of freight you gonna be hauling? Oh, just general freight. Canned goods, paper products, beverages, water, and stuff like that. Oh, okay, cool. Paper bales, drive-in freight. Okay. And not to mention, right, you've been in business for 6 years. See all these little bits of details that you leave out. You're a well-seasoned carrier. You're gonna get a good rate, man. You're gonna get a good rate. Like for somebody like me or a lot of these guys that watch my channel who got 1 year in business, you're not gonna get no policy for $8,900. No way. Nowhere. And not to mention, didn't he say he got a fleet? Matt Phillips, didn't he say he got a fleet? Insurance companies give you a discount when you got multiple trucks. When you got 5-6 trucks or more, insurance companies give you a discount. Now the insurance policy is going to be more. However, on the per truck basis, it's going to be less. Since I just got one truck, my policy is $1,000 a month. I pay $1,000 a month, right? But if I was to have 4 trucks or 5 trucks, I could probably get that insurance rate on a per truck basis, probably like $800 per truck. Okay. So I have 4 trucks at $800 a month. So that'll be 20, that'll be 8 times 4. That'll be 30, that'll be $3,600, man. $3,600 a month. Instead of paying the single truck rate, which is $1,000. That's what insurance companies do. You know, I mean, like, folks said my fuel pump sounds stupid, like rough idle. So how much is gonna cost to replace the whole fuel pump? Oh, that's what you were saying. Let me go back up here because I understand what you were saying. 404, I said my fuel pump sounds stupid, like rough idle. So a fuel pumps are expensive, man. You're looking at a good $500. I suggest calling up the dealer and call up the dealer with your VIN number from your truck and get the part number. Get the part number of that fuel pump and shop around and see if you can get a better price on that. You know, call some local parts places, Fleet Pride, Detroit, some small independent places, TRL parts and all that, all the other little part places, and shop online. You might could get one off eBay, you know, for like half the money. And if your truck's still running, it's cool. You know, you can shop around if you think it's the fuel pump. I mean, it's difficult because it's hard to diagnose whether something is the fuel pump. Because rough idle can come from a lot of different places. Your turbo could be going bad. Your EGR valve could be stuck. Your air intake, your air intake throttle, your throttle body could be dirty. Your throttle, your cold air manifold, your intake manifold could be dirty and clogged up. It's a lot of things that could cause a rough idle. You could have a bad injector. You could have an injector going bad. So it's not just the fuel pump. Because when fuel pumps go bad, they go bad. The truck can't crank up no more. So, you can diagnose that yourself. You just process elimination. You just go through it and figure out what's what. I would start at the easy parts first and see what you can do and see if you can get a EGR cleaning. Because I know if you got a Cummins engine, I don't know what kind of engine you have, but if you got a Cummins engines, them Cummins engines have to be cleaned out every 200,000 miles. It's just the design of the exhaust and how the EGR valves feeds through to the intake. It's just a terrible design, and so it has to be cleaned. So it's just a terrible design. But start with some easy stuff. Go to a place and see if you can get your cold air intake manifold, get that clean, get the EGR clean, get all that stuff clean, and see what happens. You might have a bad injector or something like that. We spoke on the phones at the time. You acting lost to this. We spoke on the phone. I speak to a lot of guys on the phone, man. I'm sorry, man. I speak on the phone to a lot of guys. I was looking at a few trailers from Snyder. Yeah, I think Snyder's a good place to buy some trailers, depending on what you're trying to do. I was gonna buy some trailers from Snyder, because you can get trailers from Snyder for about $3,000-$5,000. I mean, and they're not the best trailers in the world, but depending on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get a paper bale account and you want to pull some paper bales, and you trying to get an account with recycling place, or you trying to get a pallet account and pull some pallets, where where it don't require good equipment. Cause there ain't no point go buying new equipment and you're gonna be running paper bales. That's you're gonna tear the trailer up. Ain't no point in buying new equipment to pull cotton. You know, if you picking up a cotton account and you discussing the business opportunity, like, yeah, man, I go and buy me 2 or 3 used Snyder old trailers for about $3, $4, $5,000. They solid. They hold. The axles are good. The floor is good. Hey, you can pick them trailers up for nothing, man. And so I thought about doing that. What's a good state to live in for cheaper authority insurance? I would say Mississippi, Montana, I'm trying to think. Alabama Alabama's between like Georgia and Mississippi, but Mississippi is the absolute cheapest. So that's kind of like the trick to the game. You can get you a virtual mailbox in Mississippi, build your authority up in Mississippi, and you got a good chance of getting a good insurance rate out of Mississippi. That's the $1 million gem. But I didn't find that out until later. So my authority is already established. But you know, if the day comes where I close my authority and start a new one, yeah, I'm gonna start it in Mississippi. I would start it in Mississippi. I'm trying to think of some other states. Mississippi, Iowa, Nebraska. I think South Carolina is pretty cheap too when it comes to insurance. Cause it's funny with insurance, like with trucking insurance, they quote you based on where you live at. When in trucking, you spend 90% of your time outside of the state that you live in. It's real funny with insurance. But you can Google it. I don't want to give away all the information, but you can Google it and you can find out what are the best states to get insurance in for trucking. Best states to get trucking insurance. And you will find it. It only takes about 5 or 10 minutes to Google it. You'll find it. I don't want to give it all out on this video. Have you ever thought about getting a reefer trailer so that you can pull dry van loads too? I thought about it, but I mean, down here in the South, having a reefer is a good thing to have. But I don't know. Reefer is reefer. I don't know what to say about reefer. Reefer, it's a lot of things that goes on in reefer. It's just reefer. Reefer is hard to say, man, because like with reefer, you got to deal with that refrigerator unit on the front of the trailer. You got to buy fuel for the reefer unit, and you got the computer that runs the reefer unit. Any of that shit goes wrong, you got to pay for it. And if it goes wrong while you're under a load, it's just a lot, man. It's bad enough you got your own authority, you got this freight, and if you're an independent guy and you think about running reefer, I say the best thing you can do is to make sure that you got a good reefer unit on the front of your box. Like, you know, I told myself if I was gonna get a reefer unit, what I would do is I would buy a box. I would go find a used box for like 5 or 6 thousand, and then put a brand new reefer unit on the front. A brand new reefer unit will cost you about 10 to 15 thousand, and then the box is a used box will cost you about 5 or 6. You can shop around and find a used reefer box for about 5 or 6 thousand. And so you can go to a trailer dealer and let them quote you on how much it costs to put a brand new refrigerator unit on the front of that box. And the prices are all over the place. I mean, I've called some places up. It's like 8,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. The prices are all over the place. But I would do it that way, because the thing is, you don't want a whole bunch of claims, and you don't want to get caught with a load of ice cream, a load of chicken, a load of chicken patties, and your reefer unit goes out. You gonna have 40,000 pounds worth of chicken on your truck going bad, and the receiver ain't gonna take that load. You're gonna have to, you just gonna have to dump the load. You're gonna have to take that insurance claim. And I'm just talking from somebody. I never ran reefer on the independent side. I've ran reefer as a company driver. And as a company driver, I've had reefer units go down a couple times. But those couple times when I was a company driver, they was able to fix the issue before the trailer got too warm. It was within an hour. They got it fixed within an hour. So the product on the trailer wasn't gone. So we were still able to save the product. And the type of freight I had wasn't all that big deal. Like, I was pulling a load of them Hawaiian. I was on a dedicated account with the Hawaiian rolls. I was on that dedicated account with JB Hunt. And one time the reefer went out, and they was able to send a technician out, and they fixed it. And the reefer trailer was able to blow cold and keep the temperature on the trailer. And there was another time I had a load of avocados. And the trailer, the reefer unit was running, but it wasn't blowing cold. And so hold on, y'all. I'm watching these guys over here. I'm down here in Miami, so I'm down here on this street, and it's real tight, and I keep seeing trucks coming in and out. It always looked like somebody gonna get in an accident. And so, oh God. And so from those couple times, like, I was on that account for like 6 months. It wasn't that long. That was my limited experience pulling reefer. So for 6 months out of my whole trucking career. So I was doing that. Had a load of avocados, and the reefer unit went out. And so just thinking about all the things that could happen, and looking at the rates on the load board, like, there's times where reefer loads pay a little bit more, but right now, reefer loads don't pay that much more than dry van loads. They pay just enough. They pay a little bit more because you got to fuel your reefer unit up. And that's basically where the money gonna go. The money gonna go to the reefer fuel, to fuel up the reefer unit. You know, so depending on the size of the tank on a reefer unit, 50 to 100 gallons, you're looking at about $200 to fill up a reefer unit. And I'm just thinking, like, sometimes, like, to mitigate the list, to mitigate the risk, I don't mind pulling dry van freight. It's dry, and I don't have to worry about it, and it's, when I'm pulling a load of canned goods, I don't have to worry about it. I get down there, and it is what it is. And I'm just talking from that perspective. Any of you guys who are independent, got your own truck and trailer, got your own reefer unit, you could probably tell me to shut up. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just talking from a company driver perspective, and my decision on whether I should get a reefer unit. If I do get one, I would do it the way that I said I'll do it. I'll do it, and I'll make sure I have a good quality refrigerator unit on the front of that box. That's the way I would do it. I wouldn't go out there and buy a used reefer unit and you don't know nothing about it, and it's got 20,000 hours on the doggone motor. It's got 20,000 hours on it, and you throw a load up under it, and you put a load on that box, and and the damn thing don't blow cold. So that's how I would do it. I'll find a used reefer box, and then get as new as I can. Not a brand new one, but maybe a year or two old. Maybe like a year old refrigerator unit that came off a wrecked trailer. Like, you can call up a trailer dealer. They might have a refrigerator unit that came off a wrecked trailer. They came off a wrecked trailer, right? So you can get a good price on a refrigerator unit. It's like my tandems that I got on my trailer when I had my accident. Them tandems I got, those are brand new tandems. It's a brand new fucking tandems. But the tandems came off a wrecked trailer. I did a video about it. I showed y'all. The tandems came off a brand new wrecked trailer. The trailer just came out the factory, and they was bringing it to the dealership, and the shuttle driver ran up under a bridge. The trailer never pulled a load. The trailer never pulled a load. The trailer never pulled a load. All right. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get these bills. Man, these motherfuckers take. Damn, it's 12 o'clock, man. It's all good. I got an open appointment on this load. It's all good. Okay, let's see. 9, 10, 11. I'm gonna get an hour detention. Get an hour of detention. Okay. the doggone Colgate load. It had my trailer smelling so good. It's a load of Ajax dishwashing liquid. You got you know, Colgate products, dishwashing liquid, fabric softener, all kind of stuff. Had my trailer smelling so good. I'm gonna finish this video up and then I'm gonna put the in and out times on here. Put the in and out times on here and send this paperwork to the broker so I can get some detention. But so when it come to reefers, you know, it's just but any of you guys in here that's got a reefer and you're an independent carrier with your own authority, you could probably speak on it. Need that max clearance chute. That's why I got reefer breakdown. Yeah, but even if you have reefer breakdown, you don't want to have losses on your insurance. You know, you don't want that. You really don't want it. Me and my hubby run reefer without authority and have had issues with it, but thankfully never had a truckload go bad. Okay. Y'all doing pretty good. The thing is, you got to make sure that reefer unit is top priority. Like you got to make sure that reefer unit get proper PMs and make sure that thing running top notch. Make sure because the reefer unit is the one that's holding the money. The reefer unit holding the money. So when it comes to PMs and all that good stuff, you gotta make sure that reefer unit is running top notch. Ain't nothing going wrong with that doggone reefer unit. I set most loads on cycle so fuel lasts longer. Yeah, but if you get a load and the bills say you gotta put it on continuous, ain't really nothing you could, you know. But what I used to do when I pulled reefer, you know, I mean, not what I used to do, but when I talk to guys who run reefer as independent, like guys would be like, well, they'll put it on cycle, but then once they get like about an hour away from the customer, they'll pull over and put it on continuous. But depending on the type of product you got, certain types of product will condensate and wilt. So like strawberries, certain types of produce, it needs to be on continuous. You don't want the temperature going up and down, up and down, up and down, because certain types of product like ice cream, it'll condensate. And you want the temperature to be steady. And so sometimes, you know, it depends, man. It really depends. But, you know, you know, but I know what you're talking about, man. I know what you're talking about. Medicine loads pay well for 1 day delivery. Yeah, them pharmaceutical loads, them loads pay very well. Pharmaceutical loads. I know a lot of guys don't talk about that. What kind of insurance do you need to pull pharmaceutical loads? Do you need the traditional 1 million and $100,000 cargo? Do they require 250,000 in cargo? Like, I'm kind of curious about that, because I'm sure that they don't give them pharmaceutical loads to just anybody. You know what I'm saying? They don't give them just to anybody. A lot of places that sell good drive-in trailers. I mean, I would just go to a good, reputable trailer dealer. Go to a Great Dane dealer, a utility drive-in, a Wabash dealer. And these guys, they get used equipment in all the time. You don't have to buy new, but they get used equipment in all the time. Like guys are trading in stuff, or it's off lease equipment and stuff like that. And like you go up to the trailer dealer and you get the salesman in there's phone number, and you just go in there and check in with them and, hey man, let me know when you get some used reefer trailers coming in. I'm looking for a reefer trailer. And then when some stuff come in, and he'll call you, say, hey man, I got 5 reefer trailers that came in. I'm letting you know first because they got the reefer units, the refrigerator units got low hours on them. They got the reefer units got 5,000 hours on them. They off lease, and they, we let them go for real cheap, and that's what I think. I mean, you can use that to a lot of other places. I don't recommend buying trailers from a leasing company because that equipment has been ran through. I'd rather buy equipment from an ex owner operator, an ex independent guy, because he took care of that equipment. Can't be 10 years or older. That's the issue with owning one. Yeah. I think it's 10 years on the box and 7 years on the motor or something like that. I might be wrong, but it depends on the broker. It really depends on the broker. Some brokers don't care. I buy extra lease first because those Snyder ones, they don't have regular maintenance intervals. Okay. Don't you think 16.6 is too much for truck for a new insurance? That's okay. I will go through that policy and see if we can get it down to like 14. I can do 14. That's okay. I mean, I don't know who I don't know who that is. I don't know who you getting that rate from, but I mean that's that's about average for insurance. Yeah, I mean my insurance policy is right at 12,000 for the year. It's right at 12,000. It's like 11,800 and some change. And so I put $2,000 down and I pay $1,000 and some change a month. I forgot what the change is, but it's basically $1,000 a month. That's cheaper than what I was paying at OIDA. OIDA, I was paying like 13,000 for a policy. And I was paying about 11. I think I was paying about 11. It was like 1150 a month, or 1160 a month, something like that. But when I first started with them, I wasn't paying that much. When I first started with OIDA, my first year policy with OIDA was like, I think it was like 11,000 or something. And I was paying right under $1,000 a month. I was paying like $980 something a month. And then the next year it went up. And so, but like right now I'm paying like $1,000 a month for insurance. And total policy is like right at 12,000 for the year. And so I say that, so that's the reason why I say, see if you can get that policy down a little bit. But you may not get it down even further because you don't have no time in business. And so, I mean, you can't get on with the insurance company I have because you need 2 years in business to get on with the insurance company I have. And but that's why I tell guys to get on OIDA, because a new business venture, I know you can get a policy through them. I know you can. We never put it in continuous. I mean, I'm just saying, if the bills say continuous, I mean, watermelon moving in Williston, Florida. I got one to Louisville for $14.25. Yeah, man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Where Williston at? Williston. Oh, okay. That's around like Gainesville. Man, we don't like hauling watermelons. That's a no-no. What's wrong with watermelons? They funk your trailer up. I know onions and watermelons, different types of produce, dry produce, it's funk your trailer up, man. Shoot. Cause like if you pick up a load of watermelons and then one of the watermelons busts in the Gaylord tote, if one of the watermelons busts, you're gonna have watermelon juice all over your doggone trailer. And that watermelon juice gonna stank it up. It's gonna just stank it up. Oh, Ida 2614 down. Damn. They going up, man. Damn. God damn. Well, the thing is, when it comes to insurance, like I was saying before, you know, you got to go back in my videos. In your first 30 to 45 days, you're not going to be pulling no freight. You got to wait 30 days to pull freight. That's just what it is. So what I tell guys, when they get insurance, just to bind the policy, just get the primary liability and cargo. Don't get all the other stuff. When you call them up and you getting the quote to bind the policy, just tell them you want primary and cargo, so that way they can send off the filing to the FMCSA, so your authority start seasoning. So the seasoning for your authority will start. Okay, you want that seasoning for your authority to start. So that's what I tell guys. It makes no sense for you to be paying a month or two of physical damage, breakdown, towing, all that stuff when you're not gonna be pulling no loads. You're not gonna pull your with a fresh DOT number. Most brokers out here, except for Uber Freight, I think Uber Freight you can pull like immediately. Like once your MC number goes active, I think Uber Freight allows you to pull freight. But no, not too many brokers out here gonna mess with you until you break 30 to 45 days. C.H. Robertson ain't gonna mess with you. TQL ain't gonna mess with you. Coyote ain't gonna mess with you. You can't pull freight for none of these guys until you break 30 to 45 days. So it don't make no sense to pay for physical damage, breakdown, all that stuff, because those are individual line items on your policy. You got to pay for that stuff. Why pay for that stuff? If you can knock out half the down payment just by, if your down payment is $2,600 for the whole policy, when you only need physical damage and the cargo just for your MC number to start the seasoning, and they can send out the filing to the FMCSA to start your DOT number and the MC number to start to go active. If that's all you need, then instead of putting $2,600 down, you only won't need $1,300 down, $1,600 down. That just makes business sense to me. That just makes business sense to me. Okay, so that makes business. Yeah, so that just makes business sense to me. You can try out RigDig, not RigDig. I'm sorry, Insure My Rig. I say RigDig. Call up Insure My Rig. Insure My Rig is a broker. Insure My Rig is a broker, and they work with a whole bunch of insurance companies to give you the best rate. So try them out. Call up. They have a website. You know, you can go on the website and put in your information so you can get a quote, or you can call them up directly. Call up and Insure My Rig, or you can find some insurance companies and call them directly. So try them out. Ours is highest because we're a team. The trailer was leaking blood from the inside, meat poured load. Yeah, man. Yeah. But see, with drive-in trailers, when you pull produce, with drive-in trailers, the floor is a wood trailer. So any kind of liquid that drops on the trailer, wood absorbs that, and the smell stick around for a long time. In reefer trailers, the floor is aluminum, and so you can just go and get a trailer washout, and they'll do a deodorizer, and you know they'll do a what's the cleaning, the reefer cleaning that they use? I forgot what it was, but it's more money. It's like 50-60 bucks for that, and they'll wash the trailer out. But since it's aluminum floor, that smell don't stick around. And so with drive-in, you can pull like certain types of produce with no problem. We were stuck on them for like 2 days. Yeah, man. But hey, this video has been going on for an hour and 30 minutes. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. But, you know, I just helping a few guys trying to make up their mind with insurance. But, you can check out Insure My Rig, man. Check them out. Take your time, man. Don't get in a hurry. Because this kind of decision is going to dictate the insurance company you're going to be with. You're going to be with this insurance company for a long time, for a whole year, man. Take your time. Don't get in a hurry and try to get the first insurance. Take your time. Shop around and see if you can get the best rate you can. Take your time. So, TQL that was why I first, okay, TQL, they let you pull loads with less than 30 days on your authority? Okay, cool. Okay. I could have swore when I got my authority, I remember calling up TQL on some loads. They wouldn't let me pull loads until I had 30 days. They may have pulled it back, I don't know. Yeah, man, reefer, there's a lot of stuff that go down with reefer. I mean, I've been back and forth about it. You know, like if I go out there and I see the rates just paying ridiculous with reefer, then I make a decision. But I go back and forth, man. I go back and forth. You still think getting your authority is better than leasing on? Hold on, y'all.